everybody, and in this video we're going to be talking about Escalation Protocol. More so, I just want to talk about, is it good? Of course I'm going to do a breakdown of what it is and how it works and all that stuff, but I do want to talk about if it is actually good. Now, during the Bungie stream, you were watching people at full light level who knew what they were doing, they were coordinated, and they were playing with not just a fire team of 3, but 3 other people in the area as well. I wanted to show you guys gameplay of what it is like playing Escalation Protocol when you are not max light level and when you have no idea what the hell you're doing. Because I feel like you take both of these experiences, super know what you're doing, super high leveled, super don't know what you're doing, super under leveled, and put them together to kind of have a better idea as to what Escalation Protocol is actually like. So just so you know what light we were light level 355 when playing this activity, which is around the light level that you will be when you finish the Warmind campaign. Just to also let you guys know about what I'm using the brand new pulse rifle that you get for playing ranked competitive PvP. I also have a brand new 180 archetype hand cannon, and I have the shotgun that comes from doing this activity specifically, which is freaking amazing, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So first things first that I want to do is I want to explain how exactly it works. How does this thing work? What are the waves that you have to go through? So you interact with an object to start the protocol. You then have to clear out enemy hive. After you do that, you will see an area that needs to be cleansed to unlock the ability to shoot the crystals above your head. This is very similar to the public event on Titan, where you have to shoot the crystals to trigger the heroic version. It's very similar to that. If you've played that, you kind of understand that. After you cleanse this area and shoot the crystals, you will spawn a Hive Knight, and when you kill him, you will get a Hive Sword, which is actually really cool. You can glide through the sky. It's cool. Okay, so you get this sword, and then when you get the sword, you can run around and kill all the bad guys, and you actually really need this sword to kill the rest of this hive. Like, we were finding that even if we were splitting up and not being together and killing the hive, we were finding that really difficult. So stick with your team and go and kill the hive. After you do that, you will have a boss that spawns, and you have to kill that boss to progress to the next level. So that's how you do one wave. That's how one wave works, and then you go to the next Escalation Protocol, and you do the same thing again until you get to the final level, which is level 7. Each level has a new boss, and also there's a rotating boss for the final level. So you're going to be fighting lots of different types of bosses. It's not going to be the same thing. Even from week to week, it's not going to be the same. Now, the most important thing here is the frickin' loot. You can have the best activity in the world, but if the loot sucks, no one's gonna play it. And this is actually what makes me the most excited about Escalation Protocol. So a chest will spawn after waves 3 and 5 to get some loot, and then you'll get the final loot when you kill the final boss. This includes a new armor set, and it also includes, more importantly, 3 unique legendary weapons that have perks that only exist on those weapons that you can only get from this activity. You'll be able to grind to get these weapons as much as you want because there's no lockout, but instead there is a very low drop rate for those unique weapons. So you can play Escalation Protocol as much as you want to try and get those weapons as fast as you can. So now that you know how it works, how do I feel about it? Did I enjoy it? Is it any good? So we only managed to get to level 3 out of 7. It definitely felt like a difficult activity. It felt like something that I can play in the end game and still have stuff to do. I'm not just gonna breeze through it. Saying that though, during the summit, we did speak to Bungie about what if we're fully leveled? What if we're fully optimized with the group that we play with all the time? Does that make it easy? And that's when we brought up to Bungie that they really shouldn't be afraid to push this and make it even harder. It's endgame, so it's totally fine with it being hard. It's fine with it being difficult. You don't need to play it safe on this. Escalation Protocol for me falls somewhere between Corvorix and a Horde mode. It's more Horde mode than we've ever had in Destiny, but it's definitely not a true Horde mode. What makes this activity good for me is, one, I can't just steamroll through the entire thing. I actually have to coordinate with my fire team, optimize my loadout, and I have to make sure that I'm leveled, because if I'm not, things freaking hurt a lot. But number two, most importantly, is the loot. Having unique legendary weapons that you can only get from this activity is the way that Destiny should be in general. And that's the draw for me here to keep playing Escalation Protocol. The shotgun that you see me using in the gameplay is probably the best PvE shotgun that we have seen. The perk that it has on it is basically you hit with a melee and then you get amped up damage. And when I say amped up, I mean like really, really powered, really amped up. It is a big difference in damage. And when that perk is active, you're essentially shooting a Fourth Horseman shotgun from Destiny 1, but you have this insane amped up power. Like, it's really good. It's super, super good. There was some stuff in this activity and in Escalation Protocol that if I was not using that shotgun, there's no way that we would have killed the boss or the enemy or whatever. It's a super good shotgun. And you can only get this shotgun from this activity. And that shotgun is the only shotgun that has that perk on it. That is so good for me. Like, that is what I want. And even the sniper perk, it has a perk that only that sniper has. They're making it to where unique legendaries, yeah, you can only get this legendary from this activity. But that's not exciting if it has a perk that every other weapon in the game can get. So I think that the way that Bungie is going with, yeah, we're making a thing that's hard. You have to get to level 7 to get these weapons. Not only that, but this is the only way that you can get these perks on these weapons. You have to play this. I like that they're going that way, and them going that way makes me really excited. It's okay to make things hard. It's okay that not everyone gets everything. And it's okay to make unique perks on unique guns from one specific activity. It's okay to make people want to play the entire game and not just stick to the one activity that they like doing. So is Escalation Protocol gonna be the thing that you play all day, every day? Probably not. But this is such a big step in the right direction. Like, I genuinely enjoyed playing Escalation Protocol. But when I saw the loot that I could get from Escalation Protocol, that's when I was like, okay, this is something that when I'm actually in the wild with the game in my own PlayStation and PC, that I am going to want to get my team together to go play so I can get those guns, I can get the armor. Yes, like, we're gonna farm this and you're gonna help me farm it. And I think for me, with the type of player that I am, the fact that there is an activity that is not easy, that I can grind to get stuff that I can only get from there, is a thing that's really making me excited about Escalation Protocol. Like, the actual gameplay is, I think they mix it up enough to make it not get boring, but it definitely is like a Court of Oryx, right? Or an Archon's Forge. It has that kind of similar gameplay, but it's the loot, the fact that it's difficult, and the fact I have to grind to get that loot that really is making me looking forward to getting my hands on Escalation Protocol in my PlayStation. So definitely Warmind is looking to be way more exciting than Curse of Osiris. Curse of Osiris was very lackluster, whereas Warmind is actually bringing a few things to the table that I've been wanting and that I'm genuinely looking forward to playing. Also, the Valkyrie, which is like the little spear that you get that you can throw around, that's cool. And I like relics like that. They're great. So that is going to do it for the video about Escalation Protocol. If you have any questions about Escalation Protocol, please do leave those in the comment section. I will have a video talking about Crucible ranks in more detail because I don't think there was really a great job of explaining everything about Crucible ranks on the stream. So I will make a video talking about Crucible ranks as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll speak to you awesome people later. Bye.